Hello students, how are you? Hope you have understood my previous videos on concentration. In case of any doubt, you can write in the comment box. Now today we will start with the next topic of the chapter of solution. The topic is solubility. Solubility. Now what is solubility? Solubility of a substance is expressed the maximum amount of it. Maximum amount of substance that can be dissolved in given amount of solvent at a particular temperature and pressure. Now solubility depends upon these factors. First is nature of solute and solvent. Second is temperature. Third is pressure. Now in this video we will discuss about the solubility of solids in liquids. Solids and liquids means solid is a solute and liquid is a solvent. Now when a solid solute is added to a solvent, the solute dissolves and as a result the concentration of the solution increases. This process is known as dissolution. So when we add solute to solvent, what forms? Solution is formed and the process is called as dissolution. Now if we add more of the solute, some of the solute particles they collide and they get precipitated, and this process is known as crystallization. Now when the solute particles gets precipitated, this is called as crystallization. This is called as crystallization. Now the process of dissolution continues until a solution attains a maximum concentration. Now such solution in which no more solute can be dissolved is called as saturated solution. So important term, that is saturated solution. A solution in which no more solute can be dissolved at a given temperature and pressure. So a solution in which no more solute can be dissolved at a given temperature and pressure is known as saturated solution. Now at a point of saturation, there is an equilibrium exists between the dissolution and crystallization. So equilibrium exists at saturation, solvent plus solute gives you solution, and solution get precipitated and solute and solvent get separated. When solvent and solute they mix, this is your dissolution. When solute get precipitated, this is crystallization. So at equilibrium, both the process of dissolution and crystallization takes place at equal rate. Now the solubility we can define now as a amount of solid that dissolves in 100 gram of solvent at a given temperature to form a saturated solution. Now what are the factors affecting solubility of solids and liquids? Factors affecting solubility of solids in liquids. Now the factors, they are, first I have already discussed nature of solute and solvent first. Second is temperature. Third is pressure. We will discuss the effect of each factor one by one. First we will take up with the factor of pressure. Now solids when dissolved in liquid, both solids and liquids are incompressible. So the effect of pressure is insignificant. Insignificant means practically not noticeable. Now for example, if in case of sodium chloride solution, NaCl in water, if we increase pressure by 500 atmosphere, then solubility will increase by 2% only. So the effect of pressure is very insignificant. Next effect is the effect of nature of solute and solvent. So next factor which is affecting solubility is the second factor, nature of solute and solvent. There is a basic principle that is called as like dissolves like. That means if your solute is polar solute, means ionic compound or covalent molecule having polar nature, it is soluble in polar solvent. Now if it is a non-polar solute, soluble in non-polar solvent. For example, if you have sodium chloride, ionic compound, even you have sugar, covalent compound, but is a polar nature, it dissolves in water. Water is a polar solvent. Non-polar solute, suppose naphthalene dissolves in non-polar solvents such as benzene or carbon tetrachloride. If you try to dissolve sodium chloride in benzene, it will not be dissolved. If you try to dissolve naphthalene in water, it is not be dissolved. So there is a simple principle like dissolves like means polar solute soluble in polar solvent, non-polar solute soluble in non-polar solvent. Next is the effect of temperature. This is very interesting. Solubility may increase or decrease with increase in temperature. Remember, may increase or decrease with increase in temperature. So we will take first case where solubility increase with increase in temperature. Solubility increases with increase in temperature. Examples are sodium nitrate, we have silver nitrate, ammonium chloride, potassium iodide, etc. Now, in such cases, the process of dissolution is endothermic in nature. Endothermic means the process that absorbs the heat. So, solute plus solvent plus heat gives you solution. So this heat is very important because the solute and solvent, they absorbs heat and forms solution. So when you increase the temperature, how will you increase? By providing heat. So increase in temperature is done by providing heat. So amount of heat increases. So the equilibrium will shift in forward direction and more of solute and solvent will form solution. So in such cases where the process of dissolution is endothermic in nature, the solubility increases with increase in temperature. Remember. Now second case where solubility decreases with increase in temperature. Now such examples are lithium sulfate, cerium sulfate, Ce2SO4 3. Now here the solubility decreases with increase in temperature because the process of dissolution is exothermic in nature. Exothermic means solute plus solvent gives you solution plus heat. Now you are increasing the temperature. By how you increase the temperature? By providing heat. When you provide the heat, the equilibrium will shift in backward direction. When the equilibrium will shift in backward direction, that means crystallization will occur. When crystallization occurs, the solubility decreases. Now it is explained with the help of example. This curve. Now in this curve, in this side there is solubility in 100 gram of solute per 100 gram of solvent. There is temperature. Now there are solutes like potassium chloride, potassium iodide, ammonium chloride, sodium nitrate, AgNO3, silver nitrate. Here the solubility increases with increase in temperature because the process of dissolution is endothermic in nature. Now here these two curves of lithium sulfate and cerium sulfate, here the solubility decreases with increase in temperature. So these two curves, this is for endothermic, these two are for exothermic. Now there is a third category. Here the solubility shows irregular behavior with increase in temperature. The examples are ferrous sulfate, 7H2O, calcium chloride, 6H2O hexahydrate, Na2SO4 sodium sulfate decahydrate. These are certain examples where the solubility shows the irregular behavior, means with increase in temperature the solubility increases and after attaining a maximum it decreases. Let us explain with the help of this curve. This is for sodium sulfate, this is for calcium chloride, this is for FeS, ferrous sulfate. Now it shows the solubility. This on this side there is temperature, this side there is solubility. Now solubility increases with increase in temperature. After attaining the maximum value it decreases. So there is a break in the curve. Now this point where there is a break in the curve is called as transition temperature. Solubility increases with increase in temperature up to a certain point, certain temperature, that is called as transition temperature, and then solubility decreases. Now why this behavior? If you look at the curve, there are two types of solids. Now at this point there is Na2SO4 10H2O, decahydrate dissolves. Now at this point it loses its water of crystallization and the solid becomes sodium sulfate. Now this dissolution, here the dissolution of sodium sulfate takes place. Now this dissolution is exothermic, this is endothermic. So there is a point break in the curve. First it loses the water of crystallization, then the curve changes. Now similarly, if you look this, there is calcium chloride hexahydrate. Now at this point it loses 2 molecules of water, and here is CaCl2 4H2O. Now here at this point it loses again 2 molecules of water, and at this point the dissolution of CaCl2 2H2O takes place. That's why there are 3 types of curves. Similarly, we have ferrous sulfate 7H2O. The process is endothermic, and at this point it loses the water molecule. Out of 3 water molecule, and then the process becomes exothermic, and here the dissolution of FeSO4 4H2O takes place. So these points where there is a break in the curve, this is called as transition temperature. Now I hope you understand the factors which are affecting the solubility of solids and liquids. If you have any doubt, you can ask in the comment section. In the next video we will take up with the solubility of gases in the liquids. Now thank you very much. Thank you.